Chapter 1. Opened the next.
The words were still wet on the road. Open the next. 3 words in black ink, written by my own hand, even though I did not remember kneeling down, even though I did not remember touching the pavement, even though I did not remember choosing to write anything at all. Dr. Wren stared at me like I had become something she was afraid to name. The rain slid down her face. Blood darkened the sleeve of her coat. The cracked road had sealed itself again, but the shape of the blue door was still there beneath the yellow line, like a scar the world was trying to hide.
Mara, step away from the writing.
I tried to. I really did. But my legs did not move. My fingers twitched at my sides. Black ink sat beneath my nails in thin half moons. It looked fresh. It looked alive.
Mara, now.
I stepped backward and the words on the road changed. Open the next became opened the next. Past tense, like the story had already decided what I was going to do.
No.
The rain stopped completely. Not faded, not slowed, stopped. Every drop hung in the air around us, suspended between sky and ground. Thousands of tiny clear beads reflected my face from different angles. In some reflections, I was crying. In some, I was smiling. In one, I was standing behind myself. Then every raindrop turned black.
Ink.
Do not look at your hands. Do not read anything that appears on your skin. Do not answer if the words ask a question.
You keep giving me rules after it is already too late.
Because I keep hoping one of them will still save you.
The road ahead folded upward like a page being turned. The asphalt lifted from the ground, bending without breaking. The trees on both sides of the road flattened into dark paper silhouettes. The sky creased down the middle, and beyond the fold, I saw shelves.
Miles of shelves.
Not the black archive under Site Blackbriar. Not the place I had uploaded. Not the place I had escaped. This was older, wider, wrong in a way my mind could not measure. Shelves stretched into black distance, stacked with binders, film reels, storybooks, hospital tags, cracked mirrors, children's drawings, locks of hair, teeth in glass vials, and shoes.
The open page.
What is that?
A place Blackbriar only mentioned in failed reports. A place where stories go before they become stories. Before public versions, before raw files, before containment.
A tall shadow moved between the shelves. Not walking.
Being written forward. You opened the next.
The voice did not echo. It did not need to. Every shelf repeated it silently. Every book opened 1 inch. Every page inhaled.
Now let us see what kind of sentence you become.
The road page folded all the way over us, and the world turned white.
Chapter 2. The Nursery of Names.
We landed on white tile. The air smelled like antiseptic, powder, old milk, and something metallic underneath. The room was too long to be real. Rows of bassinets stretched farther than any hospital nursery should allow. Every crib had a name card clipped to the front. Emily, Jonah, Clara, Thomas, Elise, Benjamin. I stopped. Benjamin Vale.
Rumpelstiltskin.
What?
The public version made it about gold. Straw into gold. A little man. A bargain. A name guessed at the last moment.
And the raw incident?
Names.
A clipboard appeared in my hands. I did not pick it up. 1 second my fingers were empty, the next they were gripping yellowed paper stamped with a Blackbriar seal. Rumpelstiltskin, True Name Exchange, Raw Incident Group R6, Location, St. Agnes Maternity Ward, Public Version Authorized. Do not allow subjects to hear original names spoken twice. The report said babies in the maternity ward started crying at the same time every night. 3:17 in the morning. Nurses found the name cards changed, not misspelled, rewritten. Children whose names had been chosen by their parents were given different ones overnight. By morning, some mothers could not remember what they had planned to call their babies.
The first story a person owns is their name.
One mother insisted her son's name was Samuel. Every chart said Oliver. Every bracelet said Oliver. Her husband said Oliver. The birth certificate said Oliver. But the mother scratched Samuel into the wall beside her bed until her fingernails split. By the third night, she forgot the name Samuel. By the fourth, she forgot she had a son.
Guess my name.
Every crib in the nursery rocked once.
Do not guess. Never guess a name in this room.
Why is Ben's name here?
Because whatever took him did not just take his body.
A crib at the end of the row rolled forward by itself. Its wheels squeaked across the tile. The name card on the front read Benjamin Vale, but the letters trembled. They rearranged once, twice, then became blank. Inside the crib was not a baby. It was Ben's shadow.
Mara?
No.
I forgot how old I am.
Dr. Wren grabbed the clipboard from my hands and flipped through the pages until she found a note written in red ink.
If a child is taken before the public version can be assigned, their name remains unstable. Unstable names can be reused.
Reused for what?
Doors.
The lights above every crib went out except mine. My name card was glowing. Mara Vale. Status, not named by parents. Status, assigned by story.
Mara.
I looked at her. What does that mean?
It means your parents may not have chosen your name.
The nursery walls stretched. Every baby began whispering at once.
Mara, 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 Mara.
The name did not sound like mine anymore. It sounded like a key turning.
A name is not what you are called, Mara Vale. A name is where the world is allowed to find you.
At the far end of the nursery, the once writer appeared. Tall, faceless, dressed in black, ink-stained hands folded behind its back like a king walking through a museum built for himself. It did not rush. It did not chase. It moved like the room belonged to it, because every room did.
And you have been very easy to find.
Dr. Wren pulled me backward.
Run.
Behind us, every crib began rocking harder.
Yes, guess, guess, guess.
We ran before the nursery could remember what my name used to be.
Chapter 3. The Goose Girl's Head.
We burst through a door that had not been there before. The white tile became mud. The hospital smell vanished. Cold outdoor air struck my face. We were standing beside a stone bridge under a gray morning sky. There was a severed horse's head nailed above the arch. Its eyes were open.
The Goose Girl.
The public version said a princess was forced to trade places with her maid. Her horse, Falada, was killed, but his head kept speaking truth from the gate. The raw file was nailed to the bridge beneath the horse's head. The Goose Girl. Identity Displacement Incident. Raw Incident G12. Location. Royal Transit Simulation. Public version authorized. Destroy all animal witnesses after testing. It was not about a princess. It was about a witness. A girl traveling under protection. A second girl assigned to accompany her. One identity removed. One identity worn. The report called it displacement stress. The story called it betrayal.
They wanted to know how much of a person could be taken before the world stopped correcting the lie.
You mean they replaced her?
Yes.
The bridgestones began to sweat black water. Across the road, two girls walked toward us. Same height, same dress, same face. One was clean, one was barefoot, covered in mud, carrying a bucket. Both looked exactly like me.
Replace her.
The clean Mara smiled. She is tired. I can do this better. Dr. Wren raised her pistol, but the horse's head above the bridge spoke first.
If she passes under the gate, the lie becomes lawful.
The clean version of me stepped toward the bridge. Mara, do not let her cross. The muddy version of me grabbed my wrist. Please, I am the one who survived. I looked between them. Clean Mara, muddy Mara, me. 3 versions of the same person, and all of us looked like we belonged to different endings. Then I understood the test. The Goose Girl was not asking which one was real. It was asking which lie I would rather live with. I picked up a stone and threw it at the name plaque under the horse's head. The plaque cracked. Both false Maras screamed, but their voices were not mine anymore. One sounded like my mother. One sounded like Ben.
The bridge split down the center.
Truth does not save you. It only removes the costume.
I looked across the bridge. The once rider stood at the other end. Still, tall, patient. It held no weapon. It did not need one. The air around it bent toward the shape of sentences.
You keep rejecting replacements.
Because I am not replaceable.
Everyone is replaceable. That is why stories survive.
The clean Mara and the muddy Mara turned to look at me.
But you are interesting because you keep making worse versions of yourself and calling them choices.
I ran at him.
Mara, no!
The moment my foot touched the bridge, the horse's head screamed, the road folded, the false Maras reached for me. The once rider did not move.
There is already another Mara wearing your name.
Then the bridge vanished beneath me.
Chapter 4. The 12 Dancing Princesses.
We fell through darkness and landed on polished wood. Music played somewhere below us. Not loud, not cheerful. A slow waltz, warped by distance, like it was being played underwater. I looked down and saw my shoes had changed. Glass slippers.
Take them off.
I tried. They would not move. The glass had sealed around my feet without touching skin. There was no pain. That made it worse. We stood in a hallway lined with bedroom doors. 12 of them. Each door had a number carved into it. Behind every door, I heard girls crying. The 12 Dancing Princesses. Nightly Exhaustion Protocol. Raw Incident T12. Location, Sublevel Ballroom. Public version authorized. Destroy shoes before dawn.
The public version said 12 princesses danced every night in a secret underground world until their shoes were worn through.
And the raw version?
They were not dancing because they wanted to.
The first door opened. A girl stepped out wearing a white nightgown and silver shoes soaked red at the soles. She looked 12, maybe 13. Her eyes were open but empty, like sleepwalking had become her whole life.
If we stop, the floor remembers us.
More doors opened. One by one, the girls stepped into the hall. 12 girls, 12 pairs of ruined shoes, 12 faces too exhausted to be afraid. The floor beneath us split open into a staircase leading down. Music rose from below.
Dance until the story fits.
My feet moved without me.
Mara!
I stepped onto the first stair, then the second. Dr. Wren grabbed my arm, but the shoes pulled harder. Down below, I saw the ballroom. Hundreds of figures turned in slow circles, their faces covered by white masks. Around the walls were clocks, all stopped at 11:59. At the center of the ballroom stood Ben.
Mara, hurry! They are making me forget your face.
I fought the shoes. The glass cracked but did not break. The music grew louder. Every note pulled at a memory. My mother's voice, my father's hands, Ben's laugh, the smell of rain the night the window opened.
It is using motion to rewrite memory. If you dance the whole song, you will not remember why you came down here.
How do I stop it?
Ruin the rhythm.
So I fell. I threw myself down the stairs instead of walking them. My shoulder hit wood, my knees struck the edge. The glass slippers shattered against the railing, and the music screamed. The 12 girls froze, their heads turned toward me in perfect unison.
She missed a step.
The ballroom cracked open like ice. The once writer stood below, conducting the music with one long ink-stained hand. Every dancer moved when he moved, every clock ticked when he allowed it, every mask turned toward him like worship.
People misunderstand control. They imagine chains, locks, cages.
He lowered his hand, and every dancer stopped.
Real control is rhythm. Give a life enough repetition, and the body will call it fate.
Let Ben go!
He has been going for years.
What does that mean?
Every time someone forgets the shape of him, he goes a little farther.
Ben looked at me from the center of the ballroom, and for one horrible second, his face blurred.
Mara, what color were my eyes?
Brown. I said it too fast.
Are you sure?
I was.
Then I wasn't.
Dance long enough, and even love forgets the steps.
I grabbed one of the broken glass slippers and threw it at the clocks. The slipper struck 11:59. Every clock began ticking backward.
Mara, run!
We ran as the ballroom unmade itself behind us, dancer by dancer, step by step, memory by memory. Chapter 5. The Girl Without Hands. I woke on my knees in a field of white flowers. My shoulder burned. My palms were bleeding from where the glass had cut them. For 1 second, the air smelled sweet, like spring, like something alive. Then I saw the trees. Hands hung from the branches. Small hands, wooden hands, porcelain hands, wax hands. Hands made of paper, stitched at the wrists with red thread. Some twitched when the wind moved through them.
No.
Dr. Wren looked older here, smaller, like the field had taken something from her just by letting her recognize it. The Girl Without Hands. Agency Removal Incident. Raw Incident H4. Location, Orchard Test Site. Public version authorized. Do not allow subject to sign name after loss. The public version said a girl's hands were cut off because of a bargain with the devil. She suffered, wandered, and was eventually restored. The raw file was not about punishment. It was about obedience.
Blackbriar believed hands were the first tools of refusal.
What does that mean?
Children reach, push away, point, write, open doors, hold on, let go. A child without hands cannot easily choose.
You tested that?
I documented it. That is not better.
A girl stood beneath the largest tree. She wore a white dress with sleeves tied shut at the ends. She could not have been older than 10. Her face was calm in a way no child's face should be calm.
They said if I was good, I would get them back.
I stepped toward her.
Mara, no.
I was good for a long time.
The tree above her rustled. Hundreds of hands turned their palms toward me.
Then I learned good was just another word for still.
The ground opened at the girl's feet, revealing rows of signatures carved into buried boards. Names written by children who could no longer write. Some were scratched with teeth, some with elbows, some with blood.
One signature was mine.
Mara, Vale.
Do not touch it.
Beside my name was a note. Subject retains ability to open without hands. Door function not physical. Door function narrative.
She was never chosen because she opened the window.
The flowers bent toward me.
She opened the window because she was chosen.
The girl without hands smiled sadly.
The story does not take your hands first.
She lifted her tied sleeves toward me.
It waits until you believe you cannot change anything.
The trees began to shake. All the hanging hands clapped once.
Not applause.
A signal. The once rider appeared beneath the largest tree. He stood among the hanging hands like a saint in a church made for surrender.
Do you know why children fear monsters under the bed?
I did not answer.
Because the bed is where adults leave them alone with imagination and call it rest.
He reached up and touched one of the paper hands. It unfolded into a page.
Every bedtime story is a negotiation. Sleep now. Be still now. Obey now. Survive until morning.
You are not a story.
No, Mara.
He stepped closer, and the flowers turned their faces away from him.
I am what stories are afraid of becoming.
The girl without hands lowered her head.
Do not let him finish your sentence.
Dr. Wren grabbed me as the orchard split open beneath our feet.
But you will.
Chapter 6. The First Signature.
We landed in a room with no walls. There was only darkness, a wooden desk, and a single lamp burning with red light. Not warm red, not fire red, ink red, correction red. On the desk was a file folder. Mara Vale, initial authorization.
No.
I looked at her. Dr. Wren's face had gone empty. Not confused, not afraid.
Guilty.
What is this?
Mara,
What is this?
your name was the first file I ever signed.
The words did not make sense at first. They hit the room before they hit me. Your name was the first file I ever signed.
I was 26. I was new. I thought I was approving a protective classification. A child with exposure risk. A family that needed monitoring. A name that needed to be hidden from public systems.
You signed me over.
I did not know what it meant.
You never know what anything means until it ruins someone else's life.
You are right.
The folder opened. Subject, Mara Vale. Status, pre-narrative carrier. Function, door. Authorization, Leona Wren. Beneath Dr. Wren's signature was another signature. Long, elegant, written in black ink that still looked wet.
The once writer.
That was not there before. It was always there. You simply had to become guilty enough to read it.
I turned toward the darkness. Show yourself!
I have been showing myself your entire life. You called it coincidence, trauma, memory, story.
The red lamp flickered. The desk grew longer. The file multiplied across its surface. Dozens of Mara Vale files. Hundreds. Different dates. Different ages. Different public versions. Mara Vale survives. Mara Vale forgets. Mara Vale opens. Mara Vale distributes. Mara Vale resists. Mara Vale becomes unreliable. Mara Vale becomes useful. Mara Vale becomes myth.
Mara, listen to me. Whatever you do next, do not sign anything.
A pen rolled across the desk. White feather. Black ink. Then another pen rolled beside it.
Red feather. Red ink.
Black writes, red revises.
The red pen stopped in front of me.
Choose carefully. A written life can be endured. A revised life can be improved.
That is how it starts. It offers correction. It makes the wound look like a doorway.
You would know.
Yes.
I wanted to hate her. I did hate her. But the worst part was that hate felt useful here. It fit the room too perfectly. The once writer wanted me angry. Anger had shape. Anger had direction. Anger could be written. So I did nothing. I left both pens on the table.
Interesting.
The red lamp went out.
Chapter 7. Ben's public version.
When the light returned, Dr. Wren was gone. The desk was gone. The files were gone. The pens were gone. I stood in a hallway that smelled like dust, crayons, and old rain. A school hallway. Lockers lined both sides. Children's drawings covered the walls. Every drawing showed the same thing.
A boy at a window.
At the end of the hallway was a classroom door. The frosted glass read, Public Version Development. Inside, I heard Ben laughing. I opened the door. The classroom was full of children sitting at desks, but none of them had faces. At the front of the room, a teacher wrote on the board, in perfect cursive, Benjamin Vale. Under his name were 3 possible stories. Option 1, Runaway. Option 2, Abduction. Option 3, Imaginary Brother.
No.
Please take your seat, Mara.
Where is Dr. Wren?
This lesson is not about her.
The faceless children turned toward me.
This lesson is about Ben.
A desk slid out from the row. My name was carved into it.
Benjamin Vale requires a public version. A missing child without a public version remains unstable. Unstable children become doors. Doors create drafts. Drafts invite authors.
He is not a draft.
Then choose what he is.
The chalkboard changed. Was Benjamin Vale taken by a stranger? Did Benjamin Vale run away? Did Benjamin Vale never exist? Did Mara Vale open the window? Did Benjamin Vale enter willingly? Did the story call him, or did his sister give him to it? Stop.
Choose.
The classroom door opened. Ben stood in the hallway, 8 years old, wet from rain.
Mara?
Ben.
Am I real today?
I ran to him, but the faceless children stood all at once.
Public
Version first.
No.
Without a public version, he cannot leave the story.
What happens if I choose wrong?
He becomes easier to remember incorrectly.
The chalk appeared in my hand. I looked at Ben. His edges were already blurring.
Please do not make me the boy who ran away.
I could not breathe.
I waited for you.
I lifted the chalk to the board, and instead of choosing one of their answers, I wrote one sentence. Benjamin Vale was loved before he was lost. The classroom went silent.
That is not a public version.
No, it is the truth.
Truth does not circulate cleanly.
Then choke on it. The chalkboard cracked from corner to corner. The faceless children screamed. Ben became clearer. His face sharpened. His eyes focused.
Mara?
I reached for him. Then another line appeared beneath mine. Payment required. The chalkboard gave me 3 choices. Give the memory of his laugh. Give the memory of his face. Give the memory of the last time he said your name. I understood then. The story would let me make Ben more real, but only by making him less real to me.
Mara, don't.
I have to.
I don't want you to forget me too.
That almost broke me. Not the files, not the once writer, not the doors. That sentence. I don't want you to forget me too. I looked at the 3 choices. His laugh, his face, his voice. A laugh can be imagined. A face can be drawn wrong. But the last time someone says your name, that is proof they knew you. I gave the memory of his laugh.
Something left me.
Soft at first, then all at once. I knew Ben had laughed. I knew I loved the sound. I knew it had once filled our house like sunlight through a window, but I could not hear it anymore, not even in memory.
Mara!
Ben reached for me.
Our fingers almost touched.
Then something pulled him backward.
Not yet.
I screamed his name as the classroom ripped away. This time, Ben screamed mine back.
And I knew the cost had worked.
Because I could remember his scream, but not his laugh.
Chapter 8. Begin revision.
I woke on the road. Real road, real rain, real pain in my shoulder, real blood on my palm. Dr. Wren was kneeling beside me, shaking me so hard my teeth clicked.
Mara, wake up. Please wake up.
I saw Ben.
I know.
How?
You were talking in your sleep.
I sat up. The road was empty. No blue door, no shelves, no paper floor, no orchard, no classroom. Just rain, trees, and the cracked yellow line. But something was different. Dr. Wren's hair had turned completely white.
How long was I gone?
What do you mean?
Mara. I have been trying to wake you for 3 days.
I looked at the road.
3 days.
My clothes were dry under the rain. My hand was bandaged with pages torn from a book I did not recognize. And beside me, sitting neatly on the pavement, was the file folder.
Mara Vale, public version pending.
Do not open it again.
I did not have to.
The folder opened itself.
Revision accepted. Beneath that, in the same neat black handwriting, was a new line. Benjamin Vale was loved before he was lost. I started crying before I could stop myself.
Mara.
Did it work?
I do not know.
The folder's last page turned. Payment received. Under it, in red ink, was another line. Memory removed. Benjamin Vale laughing in the kitchen, age 6. I made a sound I had never heard come out of myself before.
What did it take?
His laugh.
Mara.
I tried to remember it. I tried so hard my head hurt. I remembered the kitchen. I remembered the cereal bowl. I remembered sunlight on the counter. I remembered Ben holding a spoon like a microphone. But the laugh was gone. The folder's page turned again. Correction required. The rain around us began falling upward.
What did you do?
I looked at my bandaged hand.
I asked it a question.
What question?
I could not remember. Across the road, one of the suspended raindrops stretched into the shape of a letter. Then another. What if the story cannot decide what she is? Dr. Wren covered her mouth.
Mara, that is not a defense.
What is it?
It is a challenge.
The trees on both sides of the road bent toward us. Every leaf turned white. Every branch flattened into paper. Somewhere far away, a child began reading out loud.
Once upon a time, there was a girl the story could not name.
Dr. Wren looked at me.
We have to get off the road.
But the road was already gone. Under our feet was a blank page stretching in every direction.
Better.
A pin dropped from the white sky and landed point first between us.
Not black ink this time.
Red.
The page beneath us wrote one sentence by itself. End of episode 3. Then, underneath it, another line appeared. Begin revision. Narrated Nightmares outro. And that is where episode 3 of the Bedtime Files ends. Mara opened the next file, but this time the file opened her back. We learned the truth behind Rumpelstiltskin's names, the Goose Girl's identity swap, the 12 dancing princesses, and the girl without hands. But the biggest question is this: if Mara was not chosen because she opened the window, and she opened the window because she was chosen, then who wrote her story before she was even born? And now Mara has saved one piece of Ben by losing one piece of him forever. Comment your theory below and tell me which file we should open next. The Sleeping Beauty Sleep Study, the Red Shoes Punishment File, the Pied Piper Disappearance, the Snow Queen Room, or the Boy Who Cried Wolf Protocol. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment your theories. It helps the channel grow, and it lets me know you want more of the Bedtime Files. Until next time, lock your doors, check your mirrors, watch the clocks, and if the page asks you a question, do not answer in your own handwriting.
You've been listening